Okay, this is a super quick tutorial on setting up a mini spawner with uFrame just to document my journey. So these nodes over here were set up by the tutorial, pretty much basic kernel graph, subsystem, scene, and you can see what happens over there underneath. But I was wondering how to set up a spawner, so thought maybe I'd set it up as a little subsystem. So I created a subsystem node by right clicking and add subsystem. Got this thing over here. Double click on that, and within there I created a spawner. Okay, add a few properties. Spawner state, so there's a little state machine there, and I'll go into that in a second. Put in an interval, how long it's between every single spawn, and a couple of commands. Okay, so let's dive into this one over here. The reason I used a state machine was just to make sure that every time the commands come through that it wires through to the state, so it's less work to do basically. So if I click on this, you can see there's two states, stopped and started, and the transitions are kind of wired. So you create the transitions by adding over here, you get two methods, start and stop, and then these become available, and you just basically click on those and wire those through. Go back up, so then you need to wire the commands through, so the spawner needs to have these commands. It's useful because they show up in the inspector, so you can start and stop the spawner by clicking the buttons in the inspector, and they kind of wire through just over to there. And then finally is a spawner view. So this is all done within a separate subsystem, though it's not shown in a separate subsystem graph because I didn't quite think about doing that. It was really just kind of exercise to try and learn. And then that's added to the main scene. So if you go back up, and you can see how it all hangs together. Let's click on this over here. So click on the console. So the spawner view is there. See, you have a couple of gotchas. One is make sure you click on initialize view model. That way it shows the interval, so it can actually show that it's going to be something that you can set. And the other one is when you click on the subsystem, when you go back to when you finish creating the subsystem graph, you must click on scaffold update kernel, otherwise it won't update and you'll be left wondering what to do. I just clicked it and it seemed to fix everything. So go back to here, click on that, and as you can see, the default state that was set up was that it stopped. So that's the spawning state over there. Click on start. You can see these items being spawned every second as per the interval here, and then click on stop, and it says spawn timer killed, and there's no more being used coming out there. Let's clear that again. Start and stop. Okay, quickly show you what happens in mono developed land. Okay, so nothing there. Right. Okay, so it's basically just in the spawner controller. That's where it all happens. Go back to the graph. So over here, right click on it and open controller, spawner controller. And the reason you're doing that is to basically wire up what happens with these commands. So when you click on start, it starts it. When it stops it. Based on the time interval. Go back to here, and here you can see it's also a little bit of an exercise in using UniRX. So spawn time is set up, and you can create that as a variable or variable over here. This is where it sets it all up and subscribes to it. It takes that interval from the view model that's been set up, and then it is stopped over here. So basically, if it's null, if it's not null, then dispose of it, and then it kills it. hopefully that should be everything. Thanks.